All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 101, our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything: news, reviews, announcements, trailers, state of plays, PSVR2 day, Valve Corporation, Microsoft. What the hell is going on these days? What is up, everybody? So good to see you again. I know it's been a minute since we did this. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. Oh my gosh, and I'm not even playing something in the trailer here. Okay, there we go. We got some flight sim going. Hope everyone's had a great week. This is, of course, our weekly podcast. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today, including the amazing last 2 weeks that have been just flying by. So many releases. Also, there's a lot more to go. What if I told you guys that we still have potentially like 7 games left in the month? Pray for us. Pray for us in PSVR2 land, because we are drowning in games. The best problem to have. But this is, of course, Interactive Chat, where I like to interact with you guys and say, what is up to Colin Loves, who is first? Good to see you, man. Old Darth Bargold, Natty, what's up? Headbite plays New Zoo Crew 111. Game Cat Chicago. Need to get me a Chicago dog or a stuffed pizza very, very soon. Alejembe D. Cat Allergic Game Cat. Hello, Andrew Ehrenreich. What is up, Alessandro Barlotta. Hello, Hasib. Good to see you, man. E-Magicians. All of you. Adam Thagard. However you say that. Sorry for butchering each and every one of your names. Listen, YouTube has messed up, and all I can see are these stupid little @ things. I don't even know who's who anymore. I just know your avatars for the most part. Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. Good to see you. T. Richards, Scott, the PSVR Game Cat. What is up, Scotty boy? Guys, hope you've been doing well, man. Hope you've been playing a bunch of games, because there have been so many. So many. And on top of all this, I have also, I've got a new Behaptics vest from the first-person shooter bundle that I'm currently playing and reviewing as well. Can't wait to share my thoughts on that. Before we get the show started, though, I do want to thank a couple people. These people that go down here to patreon.com/PSVR Underground. Support me for $1, $3 tier, $5 tier, or more, whatever you want, really. A little bit goes a long way. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, as well as you in the chat right now watching. I see you guys. I see you all there that I just did a roll call for. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Hope you're having a lovely week so far. Happy Friday Eve, as well as those watching later. I appreciate all of the support, guys. It all helps. So you are the absolute best. You know this. You are the most wonderful community ever. I'm lucky to have you, man. But we got a lot to talk about today. Before we get into the Steam frame discussion, we need to slow down a little bit with all this news. We need to rewind a little bit, because the last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy. This week has been Attack of the Rhythm games. Prior to that, we had a very, very special week of Attack of the Racers. And I've got some good news, guys. You may have heard of a little game called VRacer Hoverbike. You may have heard that I'm a little bit of a fan of this game called VRacer Hoverbike. Well, I've got some good news. The developers, after bringing this game to us 2 weeks ago, have had some good news to share about how the game is doing. We've always talked about, look, if we want to ask for some games, we need to make sure that we support them. We can't just beg and beg and beg. And so that's why I've always said, be really smart. Let's be smart about and strategic about the games that we want to ask for, guys. Make sure it's something you think would actually do well, so we're not just screwing the devs over. And the good news is, guys, that is far from the case with VRacer Hoverbike, because we have some wonderful news here. The game came out 5 months ago on MetaQuest VR, and what happened was, of course, we bombarded them with requests to bring it to PSVR2, especially with us not having a Wipeout game, not having a Jet Moto VR successor kind of thing. Within just over 1 week, we have already surpassed the ratings and reviews, potentially sales, after 5 months of being on MetaQuest in just 1 week. That's right. On the MetaQuest store, after 5 months, VRacer Hoverbike has 364 ratings after 5 months. In just 1 week, 1 week alone, little over 1 week, we have already hit 374 ratings on the PlayStation Network. Let's go, guys. Let's go. They had said that we had already surpassed their ratings and count. Usually we kind of measure this as like as a form of sales, how they're doing and everything. And they said it already surpassed within the first 48 hours, pretty much, had already surpassed the first month of being on the MetaQuest. And keep in mind, MetaQuest has a lot more headsets out there generally. It's just, we're really the hardcore gaming audience. I mean, there's a lot of hardcore gaming audience over there as well. Don't get me wrong, but proud of you guys, man. Proud of you. But here's the thing. We're not done yet. Let's keep it going. It's still going up like every single day. So if you haven't yet, make sure you go and rate the game. Give it 5 stars on the PlayStation Store. Leave a review if you can. Tell everybody how great it is. Tell everybody that's missing a Wipeout or Jet Moto, for us older folk, older gamers, how that they need to go buy this right now, and make sure you go rate it. But I just wanted to give props to you guys and say thank you, the best community ever, for actually coming through and picking this one up, rating it, supporting these developers after, we kind of made a collective effort to have them bring it. And you guys brought it right back. So just everybody give yourself a little pat on the back, little wholesome PSVR2 community moment. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. And I can't stop playing it. I seriously, the one problem with being like, a YouTuber or streamer or whatever is like, I try to keep up with all the new releases. Literally all that's on my mind is VRacer Hoverbike. I want to be doing nothing but playing VRacer. I've played it with the haptic vest. It's amazing. I can't wait to share more on that. But man, what an awesome game. And congrats, Vertex Breakers. But we're not done yet, guys. Make sure you go rate it. Make sure you tell your friends to rate it. Everybody. Imzadi, good morning. Hello. Adam 1C, good to see you. Love to see all the love for VRacer in the chat as well. And man, it was an absolute honor to get to announce that release. Seeing your guys' reactions, announcing it on the showcase, the PSVR 2-day showcase. It was honestly, in the 8 years or so I've been doing this, you guys, it was probably the biggest highlight that I've had so far was getting to do that. And it was just, it meant a lot to me. It was a really special moment. And yeah, let's keep it going, man. Let's have some more fun with VRacer, and let's find some other hidden gems that really need to be brought to us with an audience that will really appreciate it to the max. But good job, everybody. So hell yeah. Can't wait to jump back into some VRacer. Freaking love that game. Let's see here. Lord Schmitty 34, the mailman game cat. Thank you so much for the donation. Says you deserve all the love, bro. You guys deserve all the love. It's right back at you, man. It's, again, I always stress this channel is more about me. This is about our community. This is about, the fun we have together and the creativity, the innovation we're pushing, the entertainment, the next level of entertainment that the mainstream audience isn't even ready for yet. We will be here, the first ones, the pioneers doing this. So it's incredibly special, man. It's super awesome. But so VRacer turned out to be totally kick-ass, which was great. You know what else turned out to be mostly kick-ass was another game that we asked for a lot, and that was Binary Mills Rush VR. But of course, they have remastered it with Rush Apex Edition. This game has also been really awesome to experience once again. I had a ton of fun jumping in with live streaming this and playing some multiplayer with like Chinatown D and a couple other cats. I'm sorry, I can't remember all the usernames, but it was so much fun getting to play with you guys. That's where this game truly shines, is it's a fun game. But there's a lot of content and it can get kind of grindy, but where it really excels is the multiplayer. This is a wonderful social multiplayer game where you just fly through the skies and you chat, you shoot each other with Nerf guns. Awesome stuff. This game had me a little worried at first because on the PlayStation Store, the ratings weren't really popping off as much as I would have liked to see. It had me scared at first because first day or two, VRacer got all that attention. And then this was, another one we asked for. So this one's really important. Another one that's really important that we support and show Binary Mill that, hey, like we asked for this, we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and support this one as well. Only $20 too. Excellent game. This one's sitting at 144 ratings so far, which is okay. Like it needs to do better. As Wes always says, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So there's still plenty of time. Obviously we got to kind of digest all the games that keep coming out and give it time. I'm sure this will pick up at some point, or keep kind of just building momentum, but this is a really cool experience to have in VR, is jumping down a cliff. That's my kind of VR experience right there. But it's super fun. And anyways, this one, yeah, I hope to see the sales kind of keep rolling. Just smooth and steady would be fine. It would be really, really fine. But yeah, that's not all we got. So that was Racer Week. There was another racing game, but I didn't even play it yet. It was like Monster Racer or something. And I heard it was like, okay. I watched Miles and Brian, I think, talk about it, and Miles had played it, said it was like, okay. But yeah, Rush is definitely Binary Mill's best game. And then fast forward to this week, and then we have the rhythm games that have just dropped. And maybe some of you caught my live stream Tuesday. I mean, I've been having so much fun playing all these. Honestly, like I said, it's the best problem to have, and it's been really fun to just get to live stream all these. We had Lumines Arise, and this one kind of surprised me. Like, now I'm not really that good at it yet still, because it's kind of like with Tetris. Like, I never played a lot of Tetris growing up. I played some, but I never like mastered it or got good at it like that guy as Will did, or a lot of people that grew up on these. I never had a Game Boy, so I never played it really much there. I had Columns on Game Gear. Oh, I shouldn't have admitted that. No, but it's the truth. But Lumines Arise, I've never been a big handheld gamer. I've always liked playing, at least before VR, I've always liked playing with a console, on a screen, maybe a computer sometimes. But I never played like a handheld, never had a PSP or a Vita or anything. So Lumines was one that kind of slipped by me. But I heard a lot of good things about it. And so far, this is by Enhanced Games, who brought us Tetris Effect, Res Infinite, these very synesthesia infused, rhythm based, spiritually charged games, and they're just wonderful, man. Like I had zero doubt about this being any good because they just don't miss. Like, Enhanced Games just doesn't miss when it comes to these really awesome experiences, as well as being a really fun game. But I had a blast playing this. I still kind of suck at it, unfortunately. If there's like one type of game that I suck at starting out, it is definitely puzzle games. But I know with some practice, some more playing it, I'll get there. Just need to understand the mechanics, get a feel for it, get that muscle memory going, and I'll get there. I think by the end of the stream, I was already getting a little bit better. But what a wonderful game. A little pricey, I think, at $40. I don't think it's not worth $40 because there's definitely the content is there, the polish is there, but you know, for a rhythm game, I think they really need to dial it back a little bit with their pricing if they want to sell more copies, especially with such a saturated market right now. That's kind of the big problem we're facing is the games industry has been exploding so much that there's so many games out there now and so little time and money for people to spend because we're busy living our daily lives. And so you got to spread it out and make things more competitive. But again, over time, it probably in no time, it'll go on sale. And when it does, like if you haven't picked it up yet, you've got to pick it up on sale because wow, even just the first few like 2 chapters of this game, I was immediately blown away and so much fun. Visually is amazing. And, you know, like I said before, when I played Tetris Effect, it was during COVID and like I was kind of like down and a little bit like depressed during that time. Obviously, we were all like at home and couldn't do anything. And like Tetris Effect was like such a wonderful thing to experience. It really lifted my spirit. So, if you're somebody that struggles with depression, which I've said many, many times, I've struggled with really bad depression in the past, then I think you should pick this game up right now. Like if you're feeling depressed, this is a great game to pick up and make you feel better, lift your spirits, let it take you on a spiritual journey. And, as Bill Hicks would say, take a squeegee to your third eye, and just open your eyes and feel alive again. And, because it really is a, wonderful feeling playing through these games and really can really lift your spirits a little bit. So, but yeah, Luminous was awesome. Oh, you know what? And then I guess I forgot one trailer here. So I'll just talk about it. But the last game, from this week, of course, was Audio Trip, which has also been really awesome. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check out the stream from Tuesday. It was so much fun. Conan VR says, why are all content creators depressed? I mean, it was something I struggled with just by myself on my own. I didn't need that. I didn't need the help of being a content creator to assist that at all. But no, it can be a mentally strenuous job doing this. So, you know, it's why we always appreciate you guys' support. And like I said, I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. And you guys always lift me up. So I love to give it back when I can. But anyways, Audio Trip. This game is the brand new dance action game, similar to kind of like Synth Riders. But here's the difference between Audio Trip and Synth Riders is Audio Trip is actually a little bit more focused on real dance choreography. And that's the thing that I actually liked about Synth Riders. We would always describe it as literal mapping, like when the lyrics of a song are talking about, like, let's take the Muse song, for example, Resistance, great song, by the way, great band. There's a part where it's talking about like puppet, it's like referring to like a puppet master or something. And the mapping actually makes you do like a puppet move thing like that. When that connects like that all the way through, that was such a cool experience. And this game is very much like that. And there's a little bit more to it dance-wise. Synth Riders is obviously has a lot of synthwave. It has a lot of metal. I love the Synth Riders soundtrack. But I do think this is a good mix of Synth Riders and O-Shape in a way where, and it's, you know, it's obviously they do have like choreographers that help with the mapping here. Colin loves this. Audio Trip is hard, still loving it. Also, Colin, I saw that you picked this up because of my stream. Appreciate that, man. You know, it's not me that's selling the game. It's just me showing you the game and showing you how awesome they are. And when there's so many, yeah, it's like hard to see. And that's why it's really important for us and our job to just show everything we can and let you guys decide. but yeah, man, Audio Trip turned out to be really, really fun. A lot better than I was expecting. So it's not really my type of music for the most part. Like, I'm not big into techno or dubstep. Like, the closest thing to like electronic music I like is like Nine Inch Nails, which is like still like hard rock. Nine Inch Nails or industrial metal or something. So it's not really my style of music, and I'm definitely not a dancer either. I'm the last person that should be dancing ever. But I was having a blast, man. I was getting into it. I was doing Gundam style, doing the move and everything. The Skrillex song like had me doing the robot, and it looked stupid as hell probably, but I was having fun, and that's all that matters. I had zero care. I was just having a really good time. The one really, really, probably my favorite level from Audio Trip though was the 8-bit level. That one was super sweet. That was super cool. Yeah, Bangarang, that was the Skrillex one. The 8-bit level with like the Mario world and it was like a rhythm game in an SNES game. That was super dope. So yeah, man, Audio Trip's also only $20. This one's sitting really low in the sales right now. I think it's only got 35 ratings, which is really low, but I think over time that'll pick up a little bit, especially by word of mouth. And again, this is the problem when there's so many releases at once. It's just people are going to prioritize. And that obviously went to VRacer Hoverbike, which I'm not complaining personally. I think it actually deserves it. And then, of course, on that day, yesterday or whatever, Lumines Arise, or Tuesday, I should say, Lumines Arise was the more popular one. Obviously, it's a hybrid game, so it's flat screen too. But yeah, man, insane 2 weeks. Oh, did Audio Trip just drop today? I thought it dropped Tuesday. Yeah, it dropped Tuesday. Had me scared for a second there. I was like, did I break embargo again? I don't break embargo often, but I usually do it in pretty epic fashion. Oopie! Good to see you, man. It says, have a great night, my friend. You're super underground hero. Hugs from your Turtle fan, Oopie. Let's go. Victory always, Oopie. So good to see so many of you. Elzenta, Imzadi, Durbin Brown. Let's see here. Anybody I missed? VR Resistance. What's up, dude? Says I'm depressed because I'm broke. I know. Spend your games. Listen, at the end of the day, what I always recommend is, unless you like just really want to like support something, spend money and buy what you're going to play. I used to buy so many games and like 10, 15 years ago, I used to buy way more than I should have. And I kind of said, okay, I need to fix this. And I started just buying, even if a game was good, I didn't just buy it. Again, unless you're just trying to support it. VR needs all the help it can get. So feel free to make an exception here. But when it comes to you and your purchases, the best thing you can do, doesn't matter how good a game is, buy what you're going to play. And that's the most important thing. Haseeb Mirza says, hard to disagree on the price of Lumines Arise. It's essentially a AAA puzzle game. Yeah, but for a puzzle rhythm game, like that's not really, I mean, I don't think it's a bad price, but I think more people would buy it if it was a little bit cheaper. I think you price some people out of it. Just talking from a sales strategy and pricing your game, but Enhance always prices their games at $40. So it's nothing new, but let's see here. Superlastic Bubble Plastic Game Cat, thank you so much for the donation. Says this is to put towards the Christmas beanie. Oh, thank you. Good to see you. And I miss saying your name. Miss saying your name. So it's good to see you again. Let's see here. What up, Stingray X? What up, Sal, my dude? Okay. So I think it is time to talk about the big news from yesterday. Really, really big news. And that is Steam has not only announced a brand new headset, but they have announced a whole new hardware lineup coming 2026. And this is a big, big deal, especially with kind of Microsoft kind of taking the back seat now and going more publisher route, software side. This was a really interesting thing that just occurred yesterday. And yeah, Valve has not only announced their new headset, the Steam Frame, they're also coming back into the console market, which is insane because Steam obviously is mostly known for being the gaming interface on PC where you buy all your PC games. Most people do. And now they're actually releasing a console with a controller and a VR headset. This is a big injection into the industry that, quite frankly, kind of needs it right now. With an industry that's taken a little bit of a step back, this is actually some pretty positive news. Why? Because I think this is actually going to make for some really healthy competition here. It's not only always interesting to see kind of what Valve does with their hardware, with their software, their exclusive stuff. Half-Life Alyx was obviously a big deal for a lot of people. But this is them essentially. I think they have a real opportunity here to kind of overtake Microsoft even with the Xbox, the console. It's really cool to see them actually enter the console space. Once again, they tried this several years ago and it didn't work out too well. But here they are back again, giving it another shot. And so now there's new competition with Xbox, with PlayStation, with Nintendo. This is definitely going to be interesting. How I think it's going to go is I think it's going to have a little bit of a slow start. I think they're getting their foot in the door here, and they're going to start building their console brand, their new headset brand, and everything. I don't think it's going to just explode overnight, but I think this is a really, whatever it is, I think it's a nice start to them entering this space. And like I said, quite frankly, it's a good time for it while things we're kind of like, in the middle of a console cycle, and it's interesting at the very, very least. But let's talk about their new headset, the Steam Frame, kind of compare and contrast it to the PSVR2, the Meta Quest. This is a, if anything, to me, I feel like the Steam Frame is more competition to the Quest. Quest is, I don't think, going anywhere. I mean, Meta has so much money. But I also think the Quest has been a little bit mismanaged, because they're not really a video game company. And they don't really have like tons of experience with it. Meanwhile, Valve, has been around for a while with Steam and everything. I actually feel like this is going to be more competition for the Quest than it is for PlayStation VR2 because they're slightly different from each other. But let's see what the Steam Frame offers. It has. So a big difference here, and this is something that a lot of the mainstream VR audience really likes. This is what a lot of the audience likes about the Quest, is that it's wireless. It supports both streaming as well as just its own built-in chipset and everything. So that's already one big difference between that and PSVR 2. Another interesting thing that they mentioned was that it's going to have eye-tracked streaming, which essentially is one of the most underrated features that PSVR 2 has, is the eye-tracked foveated rendering. And, I really wanted to talk about this today because I watched, I caught up on some of the things, really mostly just like Digital Foundry. And, Digital Foundry, I don't really I like to hear what they have to say, but I have like such a different opinion from them personally. But they're really good at the technical breakdowns of things and what they think is, you know, the best. I like hearing their opinions on some things, but I usually disagree heavily with what they say because, quite frankly, they don't play as many games as me or us or whatever. They play a lot of stuff, but they do more of the technical breakdown of it. But I don't think that's really what makes a game good, are the technical specs of the game. That's just a part of the whole picture. There's other things like, you know, writing and graphics and storytelling and gameplay, and those are really important too. And they share a little bit on there. But anyways, I digress here. But a big difference that I saw here too, the Steam Frame is going to have LCD screens. It will have the pancake lenses, which a lot of people are obsessed with. I can understand, but the biggest problem I have with pancake lenses is that you have to have LCD screens. And the OLED, to me personally, this is just my opinion, the OLED to me is so much more important than the LCD screen. The way that the inky blacks really pop and the colors really are like more vibrant. I have a really hard time, especially going back to back. When I go from like a Quest to the PSVR2, I'm just like, this is like almost like a graphics card upgrade difference in the way that it looks. The beautiful colors, the inky blacks, all of that is really, really important to me. Now, the advantage that the LCD screen has and the pancake lenses is the screen persistence, which bothers some people. You know, for me though, it's the trade-off. If I have the option, I will go OLED all day. When it comes to this, the biggest drawback with PSVR2 are the Fresnel lenses. They could have done like an OLED, not pancake, but they could have done something like what they had with the PSVR1. You know, it was OLED, but didn't have pancake lenses. I think it was like it's kind of spherical lenses. But so, and another thing to keep in mind here, guys, with all VR, I mean, look, most VR is VR and it's awesome. You either like it or you don't, or you eventually will, or you never will. But the thing about VR and all the headsets available right now is there's a trade-off with everything. It really depends on your personal preferences. That's what it's all about. The reason I stick with PSVR2 is because it's a gaming headset first and foremost. And that's why I've always liked it. There's other things available in other VR spaces like applications, different applications like, you know, Google Maps, watching movies, things like that. I don't really do that. I thought I would, and like I even tried like watching movies on the Quest, and I was just like, I got like halfway through the movie and I'm just like, I'm not really crazy about this. But to be fair, I wasn't watching it with anybody else, so maybe watching it with friends would make that a lot cooler, or like a 3D movie, something like that. I could see myself maybe liking that more or trying that. But anyways, like I was saying, all VR is pretty much awesome. Every headset. I don't want this to be a console war thing or a VR headset war thing. We need to get rid of that shit. We need to move beyond that, because it does nothing for this whole space in all of gaming. It creates awful areas, just awful toxic places to be. So this is just, you know, like I said, trying to be subjective, trying to have a civil discussion and contrast the different headsets available and what this one's bringing to the table. I think I've already said that this is like a positive overall, that this is even happening for sure. But anyways, so the LCD versus OLED, like I said, I'll take OLED over pancake lenses LCD any day. Wireless is a big thing. I would hope that this would actually potentially increase the chances of a PSVR 3 from Sony. If the Steam Frame does well, of course, if Meta continues to make Quest headsets that are wireless. this could eventually push Sony to release another PSVR headset, and this time go wireless. The only problem here, and this is a problem with the Steam frame that we don't know about right now, is the price. We don't know the price of it, how much it's going to be. I think they said that they were going to try and keep it under $1,000. That's a lot of money. Plus, if you want to buy the Steam machine, which is the console, that's going to be even more. So I wish we had the price on this. That would be really, really good information to have right now to kind of, see, to kind of judge how this is going to do. I think the Apple Vision Pro is like way too expensive. The nice thing about PSVR2 and Quest is that they are dirt cheap for what they offer. I think they're a really, really competitive low price. Quest does not really make any money though. They lose money on theirs. They may make money by selling your information, which people really, really hate, understandably so. Maybe they'll make money selling some of that back by selling your information to overseas. But the PSVR 2, while it does less than what the Quest is capable of, it is such a heavy focus on games and gaming features and innovation with that. And I think that's where, for me personally, that's what I care about when it comes to VR. I don't want to walk around everywhere with a headset on. No, I want it to replace, or it basically has just replaced my TV, and stepping inside the game and have my own little Imaginarium. If you get that reference, we're good friends, and I appreciate you. But anyways, so yeah, the other difference here is we don't know the price of the Steam machine. PS5 consoles, I don't even remember how much it is now. It was originally $500. Now it's maybe $550. The PS5 Pro is 7 something, 8 something, $750 maybe. So it may actually, like I said, I don't think it's going to completely overtake everything unless they do all this with the Steam frame, Steam machine, and it's cheaper than the other alternatives. Because otherwise people are just going to still buy PS5s, which is absolutely dominating the market along with Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2, I don't know. I actually haven't looked at the numbers on Nintendo Switch 2 to see how that is doing. But potentially, it could pick up. Obviously, the Switch 1 was a huge success. What else we got here? The other thing I'm interested to see, so Steam Frame having eye-tracked streaming. I will be very curious. The way that eye-tracked foveated rendering works on PSVR 2 is that it has to be programmed into it has to be coded into the software side of things from the developers themselves. One thing that I think is really cool about the Steam Frame, what it does is it's using the streaming ability to just kind of render, and it seems like it maybe just applies to like all games. Like it's kind of a blanket thing here, where it's maybe built into the hardware. Now it's a little bit different because I feel like I'm curious to dive a little bit deeper into see like what its function is. Can it actually like, hit these really high resolutions, or is this just to make sure the game runs like wirelessly? I will be curious to dive deeper on that to see, but I hope to see that part of the software maybe get more support. I hope to see more developers start to implement dynamic foveated rendering or some kind of eye-tracked rendering solution that could potentially be something that we see modded with PSVR 2 on PC. Which, by the way, if you're not aware, PSVR 2 can play on PC as well now, thanks to the adapter that was released last August. And that's why the Steam Frame to me is not really going to pull me away from PSVR 2, because it's like, well, I care about the games and I can play all this stuff on with a PSVR2 on PC. So like I have that option, and I've got a, beast of a computer with a 4090 and RTX 7800X 3D, where that's the nice thing about this. Again, it's all about kind of personal preference. And I like the advantages that having the hardwire and the zero latency has. Although I do think I saw that the latency, everything on the PSV, on the Steam frame is actually going to be really high. So it'll probably still look pretty nice in terms of clarity, most likely. But again, I don't like the trade-off of losing OLED, zero latency, things like that. Those to me help me get more immersed personally than the LCD. But yeah, I'm glad to see a lot of you guys agree here. I mean, I kind of figured, because again, we're really invested in this ecosystem already. We're all about gaming, VR gaming first and foremost. But again, this is a good thing. I think this is a great new competitor to introduce to the market. So that we have more healthy competition, because look, at the end of the day, I'll be honest, I don't think Quest is healthy competition. It is, I like my Quest. I have one. I like it a lot and everything, but, it's not my preferred headset of choice. And I also think it's caused a lot of, us moving backwards instead of forward when it comes to VR games. So I'm happy to see an alternative here that may be enough to get people to go out and do it. Old Dart says VR content creators severely overhyped the Steam frame. No wonder people are underwhelmed. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Steam frame is actually, it's going to have its little advantages and disadvantages, just like every single headset. But at the end of the day, like, all these headsets are pretty similar. I mean, at least from what I've seen from the Steam frame, from what I've seen from the, the Quest and played from the Quest, what I've seen from and played from PSVR2, they're all not that different. So yeah, I mean, look, a lot of content creators out there, yeah, they're going to hype stuff up, and that's just what they do. Most of the time they're just excited, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, when I saw the specs of the Steam frame, I'm like, oh, it definitely has some advantages, some disadvantages, like anything else. But I think like I said, I think it's a cool alternative, for sure. And then, I was going to say something there. Let's see about people being underwhelmed. I mean, listen, Old Darth, I think no matter what, I don't think that's because of content creators that they're underwhelmed. I think there's just a lot of people out there, and it's just kind of the treatment that VR has gotten overall. Is there's always a nitpick here, nitpick this, nitpick that, nitpick everything, or people say they hone in on one thing and go, oh, I don't want it, or it's trash because of this one thing, and not really looking at the big picture or the reality of how the technology is developing and evolving. I've quoted this many, many times before. I miss Sean Layden being with PlayStation, but he said people want VR 5.0, and right now we're at like 2.5, and that's kind of where we are. There's still a lot of innovation and development that needs to go into the technology. But here's the thing. This is another thing I love about this announcement with the Steam frame is, like, this is just more proof that I think it's proof to me that it's just VR is here to stay. It didn't explode into a mainstream thing. Like, it's not in every single household. No, not yet. But everything that's happening now is going to play into that in the future. And eventually, everyone's going to have a VR headset, and just like they have an iPhone or something, eventually, a long time from now. It's going to be a thing like that one day. For now, we just have to understand that VR is a much smaller market. And that's okay. It's more of an enthusiast, gaming luxury, gaming item, or technology and entertainment kind of thing. And it's smaller, yes, but that's not really a bad thing. It's just the market has kind of settled with VR, and it's not as big as it potentially could have been like overnight, but I think that has a lot to do with just all the factors that go into it. From COVID, not a lot, letting demo stations being everywhere anymore, and Sony's more aggressive business strategies, Meta buying Oculus and selling the Quest at a loss, and just trying to spread shot getting everybody a Meta Quest, which helped a lot. But now look, now they have like a couple games that are these huge successes, and then there's this like indie market that is just like dying over there, that people that actually are trying to push like high level games are suffering. But that's just the way the businesses and stuff go sometimes. But to me, I just love seeing this because it is more just it's a nice little statement from Valve saying like, look, like they're investing here into VR, and this is going to be good. This is going to be for everybody that doesn't know about PSVR2 and a Meta Quest. Maybe now they're going to know about a Steam frame headset, and that's how they get into the door, get into a headset, start playing, experiencing VR and having fun with it. So huge net positives, big gains for us overall. Maybe people that have a PS5 hear about the Steam frame announcement and go, well, I don't want that, or I can't get that, but I have a PS5, might as well get a PSVR2. That, by the way, PSVR2 is $400. Shit, I forgot how much PSVR2 is. It's $400 now, $399. It goes on sale for $350. But that's a really, really cheap price for a like high-end premium VR headset. You've seen the Apple Vision Pros like $3,000, $2,000, $2,500 something. No, like there's obviously a lot of people. Some people are going to get those, but they're not going to use them a whole bunch. These little niche markets are where you really, really can shine with VR, and the gaming audiences, the application thing. This Steam Frame does a nice step forward in some features, kind of normalizing the wireless function, the controller, the controllers, I bet you it's going to have some really badass features too in terms of functionality. It already does. I mean, they've already shown some like the being able to play it wireless or stream like PC stuff or whatever. Let's see here. But yeah, it's and the rest of the specs, like are a little bit different. It is interesting how they have the different radio signals for the or receiver signals for the controllers, and then also for, I think the headset itself, I think uses Wi-Fi or the 6 gigahertz connection. So different frequencies won't have interference with tracking. Probably will have really good tracking. I mean, they usually know their stuff pretty well. So, but I'm hoping to see the eye tracking stuff kind of spread around to other headsets. Especially I hope to see more developers implement like eye tracked stuff, whether it be eye tracked gameplay inputs, like we've seen with Res Infinite, which was super cool, by the way. We've seen it with Res Infinite. We've seen it with menu selection and Horizon Call of the Mountain, aim assist. We've seen it in many, many ways. Awesome Asteroids has, I almost said Awesome Tatum. Shout out Awesome Tatum. I see you in the chat as well. Awesome Asteroids has like a turret that you control with your eyes. A lot of those people excitement towards the Steam Frame, people implementing eye tracking, things like that. It may have some spillover. As we know, like, Steam and PSVR2, a lot of developers have been releasing because they can have a similar parity with them, which is nice. But yeah, super cool stuff, man. I think that this is great news overall. I think it's great for VR. Again, if this is just my opinion, if my prediction, I think there is potential for this to be like really big overnight. I don't think that's how this is going to flow though. I think, PS5, Sony and Nintendo are still going to dominate the market mostly. But I think this is going to make a significant foot in the door here into this space this time around, if especially the price is right. If the price is right, then not. If the price is wrong, bitch, then it's going to really slow the growth, slow the adoption, the early adoption rate and everything. But this is really, really cool to see. And I hope it does well. I hope it kind of builds up like the rest of everything has with VR, and just creates a brand new avenue of some healthy competition. Let's get back to actual these companies actually competing for the consumer and again, because that would be really, really nice. All right. But yeah, just my thoughts on that. I hope this does pretty well, and I hope it just gives a boost to VR as a whole. It's not really a pass-through headset either. It's not the mixed reality, which Quest 3 was. It's going to be directly VR. All right. So anyways, before we get out of here, guys, we do have a couple more things to rush through real quick. No pun intended. There are still potentially 7 games coming out this month, guys. As if 4 games in the last 2 weeks. I mean, there was more than 4, but we're just going to call it 4 because that's all I can like mentally process right now. There's still 7 potentially to go, with even more around the corner in December with like Thief, Legacy of Shadows, things like that. But kicking things off, we have on the 20th, guys, there's 3 games on the 20th, which is next Thursday, this time next week. Oh, 3 games. 2 very, very big ones. The first one, of course, Demeo X Dungeons and Dragons Battle Marked, aka D&D B, which I'm wearing my Demeo shirt representing. I do have a review key for this. I'm really excited. I haven't checked it out yet. Demeo, you guys know I wouldn't be wearing a shirt if I wasn't an absolutely huge fan of this game. I've also never really played Dungeons and Dragons, but always wanted to. So this is like the closest thing. Maybe one day I'll play an actual game, but this is the closest thing I have to experiencing Dungeons and Dragons, which makes me very excited. But I'm very, very excited about this game because, again, big fan of Demeo. I love turn-based games, and this is a really, really fun series. Played Demeo Battles. Highly recommend both of them. You Stay Frosty says D&D is my childhood. Nice. What up, Frosty? Good to see you, man. I was thinking about you lately. But yeah, man, D&D, super cool. Before we get to the next game, that's not the only game on the 20th. Again, 3 games on the 20th, guys. Oh, we're going to be drowning again very soon. Don't you worry. Kill Artist, the Dreamweaver, Game Cat, thank you so much for the 5 dono. Killer, I haven't forgot about you, by the way, with sending you something. I was thinking about you the other day as well. I've just been busy, my friend, but I will send that at some point. He says, so AJ, VRacer Hoverbike after the show. I would love to, but I have a huge weekend to prepare for. And dude, I'm telling you, I've been wanting to play VR. I'm sure I'll squeeze some in here and there, but I got to get on Demeo, man. I got to get on Demeo ASAP, as well as reviewing Kill. I'm reviewing the Attack Suit Pro, the new B-Haptics vest. And I'm reviewing the first-person shooter bundle with Arizona Sunshine 2, Arizona Sunshine Remake, and Metro Awakening. I've played a little bit of them, but I want to save it for all the video because I want to play it a lot more. I want to do extensive testing, play through almost the whole games again. But trust me, I will get some VRacer Hoverbike in there somewhere because the next thing I'll do in VRacer Kill is probably make my livery. I want to make like either a PSVR Underground livery in there or the God Cannon livery or something. Maybe I'll make a dragon. Can I make a dragon mech livery? Because I would do that if I can. Hell yeah, man. I'll let you know next time, and I'll ping the Discord. We'll hop in there together. We can show off. Let's have a livery day where we show off all of our designs. But thank you, man, for the donation. Appreciate you, dude. Let's see here. The next game on the 20th is another big one. That is RoboQuest VR. This is the other game coming from Flat to VR Studios. There's a lot of hype for this game. A lot of people are going to be excited to play it. I know. I don't know how many, I don't really know the audience, where the biggest audience for this game is going to be, whether it's going to be PSVR2, whether it's going to be Quest, whether it's going to be PC. This game is huge on flat screen, I think at least on PC. So I feel like the PC crowd may be the biggest one, but with the way things have gone lately, I wouldn't be surprised if Quest or PSVR2 also become a pretty big audience for this one. With so many games coming out, it's going to be very, very tough on PSVR2, but I'm pretty excited about this one. I think the gameplay looks fantastic. I've told you guys before, Quest was delayed. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Han. But yeah, so we're getting it and Steam's getting it. Quest got delayed till later. So we'll see which one does better. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how big this game is flat screen on PlayStation. I know it's big on Steam. Let's see here. RoboQuest PS Store. It has 722 ratings on PlayStation Store. For a flat screen game, that's not a ton. On Steam, however, guys, RoboQuest has 12,917, absolutely trouncing the console base. Not super surprising because let's be honest, there's a lot of they're just different audiences. But this game is huge on PC, so I wouldn't be surprised if the PC version actually outsells the PSVR 2 version here. But don't underestimate us because we definitely can band together. It being a roguelike, it being kind of, cell shaded, cartoony looking, not usually the target audience with PSVR 2, but I think it's going to be really, really fun. I hope it is anyways. And I'm really, really looking forward to playing it and checking it out. I think it'll be cool. It just doesn't have that appeal as a Wipeout clone like VRacer Hoverbike does, but I could be wrong. Here. I think that this game has had on the flip side, it's had a lot of marketing. It has a lot of name recognition because of the flat screen versions and everything. So, I'm really, really looking forward to the gameplay, especially the sliding, the grinding rails and shooting, blowing up robots all to hell. This sounds like a really fun time. Marky says it needs crossplay. I'm not sure. Yeah, Melkaya, I agree. Melkaya Razio. I do wish we could rate from the PlayStation app. That would be very, very nice. Let's see here. Let's see. So also on the 20th, there's one more game that's coming out, but you may not know about it because there's been zero marketing for it. So I'm not feeling great about its chances with two other big titles like Demio and Dungeons and Dragons and RoboQuest VR. But it's still a pretty cool one, and that is Richie's Plank Experience, an oldie but a goodie. I only have a Quest. There's not even a PSVR 2 trailer for this. Like, dude, game comes out in 7 days. Where's your PSVR 2 trailer? I know you're a small, like, one-man team basically at this point, but dude, get a trailer for the love of God. 7 days. You have 7 days to make a trailer. 7 days. But yeah, man. Richie's Plank will be cool. It's definitely a fun one to like stick your friends in, stick people in that have never done VR before. It's a smaller, more, it's an experience kind of game application. It's got some gamey elements to it I really actually what they're showing right here, this kind of like hero mode where you're stopping bombs. You like fly around like Iron Man and you punch these bombs from hitting these buildings. You also fly around, put out fires. These modes that they added later on in the game were actually really cool, and I like them a lot. VR says, I really don't care for the Plank game. It seems gimmicky. It is, but it's intentionally gimmicky. That's the difference here. It's not like, and there's some other little hidden things. Yeah, it's a gimmicky game, but it's like intentionally supposed to be that way. It's been out for a long time. There's a lot of videos on it. I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen at some point or another people walking on the boards and try that. I think this will be a cool one. Probably going to get absolutely buried on this day, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see kind of what does the best between Demio and RoboQuest and Richie's Plank. I feel like RoboQuest might have the edge, although Demio is a hybrid game and has the Dungeons and Dragons thing to it. I would love to see that really do well. That would be awesome to see. Okay, that brings us to the 25th, which we have 2 games slated for there. But before we get to that, Tom Richards, thank you so much for the donation, my friend, says, any chance of getting these as a podcast again? I'm sure you're super busy, but it used to make it easier to listen. No worries if you can't. Yeah, I think something broke or something changed with Spotify. To be honest with you, like it is kind of time consuming. Maybe I can try and get some help. I didn't know I had a lot of listeners on there on like Spotify while you're playing or something. I can make a note of it here. Look, I'll even write it down right now. At the end of the day, like I want you to be able to enjoy my content however you prefer. So I've made a note and I will see if I can get these on there again. If it's not too time consuming, it can be very time consuming. I already go after the show, put timestamps. That takes some time, and just getting ready for the show takes like an hour. Yeah, it is a lot, but I'll try to see if I can maybe set it up in a way to make that really quick and easy. But thank you for the donation and thank you for bringing that up. If you guys like the Spotify, like hearing it on Spotify, then I'll definitely consider putting it on there. Especially if I have enough people ask, I will definitely do it. But thank you. So on the 25th, we have 2 different games. First, we've got Pools VR, which you look at pools in VR. Jokes aside, this is supposed to be a really cool tech demo-y kind of thing, walking sim, if you will. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know. I don't know if this is a hard release date, or if this has the potential to get delayed. No idea. But we'll find out. I'm not like super excited about this because I like games. But who knows? Maybe there's something, maybe it'll be cool for 5 minutes and then move on. But the one I am more excited about on the 25th is Shadowgate.
Welcome to the Spires of Adgon, sorcerer. See your belt holds a sorcerer's wand. When you need such things, the dark days lie ahead.
Puzzle game with light action elements. Is that? Let's see. Is there oh shit. Oh, my bad. Oh, so sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I checked, I tried to check to make sure that was there. So sorry. Thank you for letting me know the volume was on. My B. Anyways, let's start that again. So Shadowgate Mines of Mithriok is the brand new upcoming action adventure with it's mostly a puzzle game with some light action elements to it. But it's mostly a puzzle game. But this is really cool. This is, of course, based on like one of the original, like one of the very first, if not the very first, like adventure games that were just basically interacted with via text and choosing, you know, your paths and your adventure and everything. And it was really, really cool that they're still making this series. There was a nice little note from the developer, you know, saying like, keep adventure games alive. I couldn't agree more. Secrets of What Up Dude says this is awesome on the Quest 3. Very nice to hear. Let's see. I want to make sure Pools isn't going either. But yeah, man, I think this game will get a little bit overlooked. I do think there will be some people that jump into it. I definitely think it's going to do better than Pools VR, most likely. But yeah, I'm personally pretty excited about this one. I love fantasy adventure stuff. It's an actual game. And it just seems pretty cool. I don't think it's gonna like blow up when it comes out, but I think maybe over time it'll pick up a little bit, especially if it's really good, spreads by word of mouth. But yeah, definitely a good chunk of target audience for us here with this one. But we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of, I can't remember some of the name of these games, but maybe like a Shadow Legend or something, you know. Really, when it comes to fantasy, it's like we've had Skyrim in VR. We've had some really big fantasy games before. So these smaller ones, I think these are a great addition to the library, but I just, like, sales wise, I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking of like Witching Tower. Witching Tower is what it really, really reminds me of, which didn't sell very well, but was still really cool. So, fingers crossed that this is great and does well as well. Now, that being said, there are potentially 2 more games that are really, really big ones that are coming out. The first one is, let me get rid of Shadowgate here. This doesn't have a release date yet, but was slated for November. Don't be surprised if these next 2 get pushed into December. But the first one is made of Skur. I'm actually really excited about this. Another really high-end horror game that's coming. I'm very, very excited about this. Flat screen game got pretty good reception overall. You know, and it's a welcome addition. I love pure horror games, and this seems to be like that, like a lot of stealth covering. You can see them covering their mouth, trying not to make any noise. But yeah, this seems pretty sweet overall. But made of Skur, no release date. Don't be surprised if it gets pushed into December or maybe even 2025 or later, 2026, or later. But they did say they were aiming for November, so we could see this one. And then the last one, we just got an update. I'll tell you when we got that update. We got this update yesterday, today, earlier today, maybe. Zero Caliber. They said that they are in the final stages of certification process. This one's going to be big. This game doesn't matter when it comes out, really. A lot of people are going to buy this. First-person shooter genre is one that is kind of a lot weaker than I was expecting to be on PlayStation VR2. At least like these military-style shooters. A lot of people are excited about this. I see Han saying I'm hyped about this. I think Zero Caliber, last update we got, they hit their second tier of the wish list. Make sure, you guys, there's still time to go out and wish list this game. If you haven't, add it to your wish list. You can literally drop the price of the game. But I think no matter what, I think this game is going to do really well. As long as it's not like super buggy and at launch. As long as it's pretty polished at launch, I think this game is going to absolutely crush it. Chinatown D, what's up, says, I loved it on Quest. It's great on PC. Can't wait to try it on PSVR2. Nice. So all versions. Yeah, because the Quest version was like a smaller version, right? It was like Zero Caliber. This is Zero Caliber Reloaded on PSVR2, I think is what it's called. That was, or maybe that was Zero Caliber Reloaded. I don't remember. But PC version, yeah, was the original one. It was super popular back in the day. And yeah, man, Zero Caliber is going to do, I think, really, really well. And I look forward to seeing Zero Caliber 2 as well, which should be awesome. Let's see here. But yeah, that about does it for tonight, guys. Wow. Again, what an amazing 2 weeks it's been. Be prepared for, I've been I'm probably going to do a lot more live streams soon. So on the day of releases, Tuesdays, Thursdays, whatever, just don't be surprised if, I'll either do like a review of it here on Interactive Chat, or I will do it on just a live stream, do first impressions. But either way, I got you covered. There's also going to be some stuff dropping on the Patreon very soon. So shout out once again. Thank you guys so much that support me there. Should be some giveaways coming very, very soon, as well as a couple outtakes from VRacer interview and a couple other fun things. I should have that up soon. And before the weekend, probably, to kind of kick off the weekend, I guess, or during the weekend. But yeah, man, thank you guys so much. All of you, you're amazing. Let's do a little bit of roll call, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Let's cue the metal right here. Thank you so much. Oops, it's Ali again. Techno glitch. The system is down. The system is down. Distracted. The Game Cat. Thank you so much. A 0 calories classic. Silver Nexus says take care, be merry, and game on. Game Cats. I don't know if the metal's too loud or not. Salvador, my dude. Peace out, homie. Secrets. Many thanks to you as well, my friend. Colin Loves. Get back into some audio trip and get that cardio going, baby. Markio, the legendary Game Cat, thanks so much, man. Chinatown D, you rock, thank you. You know who else who rocks? Awesome Tatum, thank you. Lieutenant Tatum, happy Veterans Day, my friend. Appreciate you and your service to our wonderful country. Techno Glitch, I got you already, but I'll say it again. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for life, thanks so much, man. Venser, good to see you. Handala says, I'm so hyped for this one. Very good. I'm hyped for everything. So many good games coming out. So little time. Pietrek F. Good to see you, homie. Ita Chiuchia. Damn it. Your name gets me every time. I wish I could do that better. Guys, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. I'll see you again very, very soon.